finally is different. It's different. It's definitely different. Being on YouTube on, not that I haven't been on YouTube on my iPad before, but normally it's the iPad and the phone side by side, and instead I'm on TikTok on top of the on the laptop because my phone is not is not working right now. I tried to do it in opposition so that YouTube was on the laptop and TikTok was on the device, but YouTube wouldn't use my camera. It kept telling me that it was already in use by another app, and I tried troubleshooting it and just wasn't working. So then I decided, okay, well, I'll do TikTok on here, which then meant I had to download the live studio. So needless to say, it took me longer than anticipated to get online today. And hello. And this is also part of the reason why I was not online on Tuesday, because I ran into the same issues. And by the time I figured out what was going on with everything, I just said, you know what, forget about it. Forget about it. And I'm in a big process of making a lot of changes currently anyway, restructuring the school, putting classes out. I started a new YouTube channel. I've been writing lots of books. Speaking of which, The Golden Sunbeam, The Light Inside You, is currently available on Amazon worldwide. And it's the next book in this series, Starlight Whispers, is being released on March 29th, so on the new moon. And I look forward to seeing that on Amazon as well. And a new series that I'm writing is dropping on spring equinox, and this is a series for my nieces and my granddaughter, and it's a series called The Unlikely Heroine Chronicles. And I'm dropping 2 books right away. The first book is Tanya the Goblin Slayer, sort of. And the second book is Parisa Befriends the Pixies, and it follows these 4 friends who, go to the same school while they reveal the truth about magic and teach you that you can like and become friends with the most unlikely creatures, and it's beautiful. So that's the book that's getting ready, or the series that's getting ready to drop on March 21st. So those books are available. On the 27th, I start a new course. In that course that's being started is called the Bridge to Light Phase 1. And this is a course that is going through the healing, it's identifying trauma responses, it's going through victim consciousness, it talks about how the ego blocks you and can limit your progress in your healing journey. It gives you all kinds of activations. Good morning. It gives you all kinds of activations, meditations, journal prompts. Like, it's a beautiful course. We meet twice a week for this course, and there's a full supportive group. Hello, Byron. How are you this morning? Lovely to see you. I'm quite well. How are you, Sean? I'm quite well. Yeah, very, very active, like productive right now. And so these books, I wrote them for my nieces. I'm absolutely delighted. It started as a joke in the classes, or in the groups that I was in, and I was talking about how, well, happy birthday. I was talking about how I could talk about my previous relationship through the eyes of like it's a lot, right? There's a lot of energy. I've been sleeping way more, Byron. Like, I've been sleeping in, which I just attribute to the time change, that maybe it looks darker, right? Like something like that. But yeah, just really, really weird. Happy level up, right? Or happy solar return. Happy solar return all the way around the sun one more time. So, yeah. This book, I'm so excited for this series for my nieces. So the first story is Tanya the Goblin Slayer, and Tanya is technically Tanya. It's just a reorganized word. And they're just 4 friends that go to the same school, and Parisa and Soraya are sisters, and they're just a group of 4 friends. And they are, why, thank you. And they are on this journey. And the first story, like everybody, the townsfolk have this idea about goblins, like all the stories that they've heard. So it's just continuing to believe the things that they've believed. And Tiana, who's the goblin slayer, sort of, she decides to find out more about goblins and what is this goblin really like. And she decides to teach the town that the goblin's really not what they think he is. So it's just a cute little story about these three little girls that have like a very mischievous, or not mischievous, very mystical or magical kind of life. So the second book is Parisa Befriends the Pixies. So the reason why I wanted to release two of them right away, good morning, divine timing. Sorry I wasn't here on Tuesday. My phone needs to be replaced, and I've just been delaying because they're so ridiculous to, it's just silly. So I've been delaying and just doing what I can with the devices that I have. YouTube wouldn't go live on my wouldn't go live because of my camera being in use by something else, which was just frustrating. And so by the time I was done trying to troubleshoot that on Tuesday, I just decided, you know what, energetically I'm not feeling it now. I spent so much time just like, oh, why are you not working? My camera's not being used. There's nothing using my camera. Check device manager, check, update the drivers, do all these things, and just like, it was just silly. Have a beautiful day, Byron. And thank you. It is a beautiful view. It's this is my aloe vera. He's pretty fantastic. He's quite large as an aloe vera. So yeah, by the time I did all that, I was just like, I couldn't, just done. So I thought I had figured out what the problem was. So then today I go to start live. I'm like, I got it figured out. I've got my camera in use now for YouTube. I go to set it up. Camera's in use by another app. We can't use your camera's in use. And I'm like, what are you talking about? My camera's in use. It's not in use. So there I went, going through the cycle of trying to troubleshoot it again, but I couldn't figure it out. And so then I ended up having to download TikTok's live studio so I could do TikTok on the other one. And maybe that's something I have to do. Maybe I have to look at until I actually swap my phone for a new one. And I'm just going to have to choose which one I'm going to go live on and just go live on one at a time. Might be something, or just choose not to go live on something for a bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. Figure it out. How's everybody doing? Today's Transformation Thursday. It's also the eclipse. So we're in the eclipse portal now, which means you want to be very intentional with how you're moving through your day. And to be fair, you should be intentional about how you're moving through every day. But some of the energies that we're under because of the planetary alignments and things like eclipses, for sure, they're asking us to be definitely more intentional with how we're moving. And more intentional in the sense that you want to be moving in the direction of your highest good. So you want to be making those decisions, right? So today is March 13th. Yes, March 13th. So we're in that pre-eclipse time, right before the eclipse of tomorrow, right? So this eclipse gateway is open, and what that means is that my mom's phone's really loud. Just give a second. So with the eclipse gateway being open, what that means is today is a great or crucial moment for alignment, for purification, for setting our divine trajectory before the celestial reset occurs, which is what the eclipse is going to do, is like a celestial reset. So this is the time that we want to be releasing all of those distortions that are in our life, anything that is not in alignment with us. So sit down and actually look at what are the things that I'm doing now that I know are not supporting the future that I'm trying to create, right? So for me, I haven't been around my mom for like 14 years. I lived away from home. And so being near home, my mom loves to show her love through baked goods. She loves to bake and cook and all of that stuff. So for me, one of the things that I know does not support my future is eating all the baked goods that my mom makes, right? Like I have to make a decision to say, that's too much. It's beautiful that you love to, show your love through food, but at the same time, there is too much sugar that's coming, that's being shown. So let's maybe show love with food, but healthy food, as an example. So that's a kind of way of looking at what are these habits that I have, or what are these illusions, or what are these belief systems, what are these things that I'm buying into right now that don't serve me and that, you know, are not working, are not in my benefit. Okay, so the true planetary alignment for March 13th, and this is the other thing, is we need to start getting the right information about what's going on. So we want to be looking at what are the true meaning of the planets, what are the true celestial alignment, what is without the distortions that are there. So the sun in Pisces is actually about spiritual mastery. It's all about dissolving illusions, and it's about a deep surrender to divine flow. So Pisces water energy, right? It's going with the flow. It's a mutable sign. It's beautiful. And it is the 12th sign, which at 11:11, we're talking about how it is very, very spiritual, about transformation, connection to, you know, the other realms as well. Like there's a profound connection for those who have Pisces, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful sign. The moon in Virgo, which is opposing the sun, so if there's that opposing energy is what it feels like, and that Virgo opposing the sun is bringing about sacred purification, refinement, and clearing out all the distortions before the eclipse. So Virgo's coming on the scene and opposing that sun energy, and it's like big summer blowout, only it's spring. So not quite spring, but getting there. So when we're looking at that Virgo, that sacred purification, so what is it that we can clear and cleanse and receive clarity on, right? Purification is also about clarity, right? What can we refine? And think about Virgo, and oftentimes Virgo's been called it's been called like a perfectionist. But really, Virgo's about refinement. It's about, and perfection is incorrectly spoken about in society anyway. Perfection is looked at as a flawless thing. But what perfection really is the pursuit of mastery, right? So when we're looking at refinement or perfection, which would be under the compass of Virgo, we would be looking at it in the sense of refinement and mastery, not under the idea of something that is flawless, because what is considered to be perfect to me is not going to be what's considered to be perfect to you, right? Perfection would be something that would be objective. Or subjective, subjective. So Mercury is also in Aries right now, and with Mercury being in Aries, that's going to ask us to take bold and strong decisions, and then those decisions, that clarity is in the mind. Mercury is all about our communication. So how we are communicating with technology, it's how we are communicating with each other through body language, all of that. So with Mercury being in Aries, this is giving us really bold clarity, strong direct knowing, and we know how to cut through the distortions right now. So that is beautiful energy to have when we're looking at clearing out the distortions before the eclipse. So to have that Aries energy and harness that strong knowing, you just know, and you know what you, and the clarity is starting to be like things are becoming very, very clear. So there may be a lot of things that have happened recently, and I know I've been a part of that, where unfortunately, I've had people, something happened where, I don't know, but somebody started talking smack about me, and other people apparently decided to just agree with the smack that was being spoken. I don't even know what it is. Nobody would even have a conversation with me to tell me what it was, so I can't even improve myself, and wherever I've been deficient, I just had people just basically treat me like I was a leper, and that they did not want to be anywhere near me for fear that I had a plague. Everybody just pieced out, and not even like I was a human being. So that clarity, I believe, is going to show up for some people. Some people, from those actions where they made decisions where they didn't get the truth, or where they treated somebody in such a unkind, inhumane way. Like, it's really, I don't know why you wouldn't have a conversation with somebody and just explain to them, you've done this wrong, and give them that clarity, so that even if you don't want to have a relationship with them going forward, that's fine, but at least tell them what they did to slight you, in what way, so they can make improvements on their own, right? Like, at least be a decent human being and have a conversation. So some of those things like that have happened recently, and many of us have been a part of that. Hello, my love. It's weird being on happy Virgo full moon and it's an eclipse, a total lunar eclipse. So we're just talking about that actually. You showed up at the perfect time because we're doing the true celestial planetary alignment conversation about what it really means with this Virgo full moon. The setup had to be a bit different and I'm late because technology issues with my phone not working. Anyway, I have TikTok on my laptop, so if you see me looking up, it's because I have like a lot of conversation from TikTok. So I have to look up and read it. And then I have YouTube. Hi guys, here. So I have to keep my eyes here. So if you guys see me looking down like this, it's because I'm looking at the YouTube screen. And if I'm looking up like that, I'm looking at the TikTok screen. And like I said, read. But I did it. I was persevering today, let me tell you. Okay. So we talked about the sun in Pisces is about spiritual mastery, dissolving illusions, and surrendering to divine flow. We talked about Virgo, which is opposing the sun because it's in the moon. The moon is in Virgo, sorry, and how this is about sacred purification. It's about clearing out all distortions, and it's about that refinement. We talked about how we have Mercury in Aries, so that means that our communication is going to be bold, it's going to be very clear, it's going to be direct, it's going to be strong, it's going to be cutting through the confusion. So we're going to get a lot of clarity right now because of that Aries, like Mercury being in Aries. Then we have Saturn and Neptune, which are conjunct in Pisces. So the final dissolution of all false timelines and limiting belief systems is happening because of that particular conjunction. And finally, we have Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto in Aquarius, this is the quantum upgrade of consciousness at both an individual and a planetary level. So this is huge. This is the final preparation window today before the eclipse tomorrow and the next day. Right, so for us, we have on the 14th and the 15th, there is the eclipse. So for in North America, it's on the 14th. So what we're going to do today is I'm just going to go through this beautiful sacred opening. I'm going to do a whole session with you guys, an energetic session. So we'll check that out. And I'm not sure who is on my live with the name Rhoda that booked a session. If you're watching while you're booking the session, that came up as an 11 a.m. for me. So I'm not sure if you're in the Eastern time zone, but it hopefully shows you your time zone. But if not, know that it was booked at 11 a.m. Eastern with me. So whatever time zone you're in, you can look at it in comparison to that. Okay, so we're going to do this opening of the sacred space. So I'm going to reach behind here and who do we want? Let's do some, oh, wait. We want, I know which one we want. Where are you? Raziel. Okay. Forgot to get my incense out first, guys. All right. Let's light it up. Light it up. Make sure it's going good. These were in storage for a bit, so I have to really make sure it's going. Okay, so we're going to anchor in ourselves right now, okay? And we're going to call in the celestial councils, the Christ Sophia codes, and our higher selves to guide us in this work. Okay, so as the cosmic tides shift, I stand unshaken in my divine power. I release all that is false, all that is distorted, and all that no longer serves my highest path. I step through the eclipse as a sovereign creator, fully aligned, fully activated. So it is. Okay, so we've opened this space. I'm going to sit this in with Mr. Toad here. As long as Mr. Toad promises not to set on fire again, we'll be cool. We had that happen before where Mr. Toad decided that the incense needed to start on fire, which lit on the candle, and then it just like had a couple of flames going. Alrighty. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in. Okay, we're gonna do some breath work. Okay, that's part of this is Transformation Thursday. So we do work on Transformation Thursday. It's not just about cards. But if you want to do some real stuff like activating and stuff like that, and clearing and purifying and, you know, getting yourself prepared for the eclipse, then stick around and do the energy stuff. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to breathe in. And when we exhale, we're just going to do 5. We're not doing a full fire breath. A full fire breath would be to inhale and do rapid exhales. And you do the rapid exhales between a number of 20 and 30 times as you're exhaling. But we're not doing that. We're merely cleansing our energy and we're pushing it out. So 5 times, okay? So just breathe it in and push out that energy, like burn away that stagnant energy. Okay? Okay, just push it out. Okay, next we're going to breathe in golden white light. Okay, we're going to breathe it all the way in, and as we're breathing it in and we're filling it up from the bottom of our belly up into our top of our head, we're going to see our chakra system light up. So we're breathing in, hitting our roots, sacral, solar plexus, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye, and then to the top. When you get your breath, the whole breath in, pause at the top for 7 seconds. And then exhale, nice and slowly, pushing out anything that doesn't serve you. Okay, so nice deep breath in of golden white light, source energy, right? You can even see it coming down on your crown, like how mine's lit up a little bit from the sun that's touching the top of my head. You could open it up and have it drop through that golden white light direct from source, or you can breathe it in and just visualize seeing yourself breathing that beautiful energy in. So we're just going to breathe in, infusing the light body with this beautiful crystalline energy through breath work and visualization, right? So light and frequency and sound. All of those things, they combine together to be proper healing tools. Okay, so big breath in of that beautiful air all the way down as you see the chakra system light up. Pause at the top, hold for 7 seconds, exhale nice and slowly. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so envision that beautiful golden white light coming in, down into the root. Rise to the crown and pause for that 7 seconds. Exhale, pushing out anything that doesn't serve you. Another one of that beautiful golden white light, that beautiful energy direct from source. Lighting up the chakra system to the top, pause at the top, hold that energy in, and then release anything that doesn't serve you, nice and slow. So now we're going to do some chanting, okay? So we're going to use language, which is also the voice, the mudras and the mantras are also powerful tools for us to use. So when we're doing the mantra, and we're saying those words, their frequency, they have power. So what we're going to do here is Ra, Na, Ta. Ra, Na, Ta. And what this is doing is it's dissolving the karmic imprints and artificial overlays. Okay, so it's Ra, Na, Ta. Ra, Na, Ta. Ra, Na, Ta. Okay. So now we're going to put our hands like this over our solar plexus. So this is our mudra, and we've got our mantra of Ra, Na, Ta. Okay, so we're going to say this, and your thumbs are touching, your hands are overlapping. That's the mudra, okay? So Ra, Na, Ta. Ra, Na, Ta. Ra, Na, Ta. Ra, Na, Ta. Okay, so you can chant that. You can take that with you as well and do it throughout the day. So the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to scan our field, right? So you just start at the top of this big, think of yourself in a big orb, in a big globe of energy. And that energy is about a 6 to 9 foot ball of energy that's around you, 360 degrees. It's a ball. Hi, friend. And so imagine yourself in this beautiful orb. So we're scanning through the entire field, not just through our body, right? We want to scan our entire field. When we're scanning through the field, you're just looking for anything in the field that it feels like heavy, it feels resistant, it feels just off. And you also, when you're scanning through your body, when you're actually scanning through the physical, you're checking for where there's tension, you're checking where there's anything that's feeling resistant, even pain. And as you go through that scan of your entire environment and your body, right, you're going to scan through that and you're going to release, right? You're going to release it because you're going to see yourself in that space, see it as a darker, like a gray or a black type of substance. And you're going to see that be washed away and replaced with this beautiful clear white light. So it's just shifting that energy, seeing it dissolve into that white light and move away. So you're just stepping through any of those spots where there's tension or resistance, or it seems like there's, you know, maybe some stagnant energy or blockages that aren't allowing for flow, whether that's in your auric field, in your toroidal field, or in your physical body. Right, so we're just checking that. So just do that scan and take as much time as you need identifying any of those. And I'm doing it as well. I do practice what I preach, or practice what I teach is what I like to say. I like to practice what I teach. So beautiful. Just have that flow through your body. Okay? Continue doing it for yourself. If there's, you know, if you need to take more time to scan through your field and find any of that stellar, like that energy or any resistance or any tension, then, you know, take your time to do that. So the other thing that I wanted to give you guys today is some, sorry, I skipped past my whole thing. I skipped past a section, sorry. So the other thing that I wanted to do is give you guys some aligning your divine template, right? So allowing yourself to align in with that. So the way that we do that is we envision ourselves inside a Merkaba, and we are. I mean, that's our light body exists within that space. So this Merkaba that's around us, the top is pointing upwards, this three-sided triangle, and the bottom starts about the shoulders and points downwards, and again a three-sided triangle pyramid. So you have those two interlocking. Okay, so we're just seeing this beautiful Merkaba around us, and we're seeing that itself locking into Mother Gaia's grid, like into her original template. Right, so you don't have to know what that looks like. You don't have to be, you know, aware of that on a logical sense, like in your 3D mind. Your higher self knows exactly what the organic grid is for Mother Gaia. So when you set the intention that that's what you're putting, you're locking your Merkaba, your light body vehicle, what you're locking yourself into is the true organic ascension grid. Not the false, not any false overlays or artificial constructs. Not anything that's set to keep you trapped or limited. So you're setting yourself into that space, okay? And as we sink into that true ascension, that true original crystalline template, what we're going to do then is we're upgrading our nervous system. Okay, so see your nervous system connected into that grid and see it being fed with the truth, with the true crystalline frequencies, in seeing yourself connect to Mother Gaia without any of those false things in between you and that connection, right? So you're connecting to the truth. And we're just going to say, I am unshakable. I walk through the eclipse with absolute clarity. Okay, so we're moving through with clarity. Pura Vida Morici. My timeline is locked is the other thing that we want to say. My timeline is locked, okay? And my ascension is sacred and sealed. My ascension is sacred and sealed. I am. Okay, so I am unshakable. I walk through the eclipse in absolute clarity. My timeline is locked. My ascension is sacred and sealed. I am. Okay, so for the next part, you might want a pen and a piece of paper because I'm going to give you some beautiful journaling and reflection prompts for you to do today so that tomorrow you're going to be in the perfect energy for when this eclipse is happening. Okay, so one of the things we want to look at is what must I fully release before the eclipse gateway? So what must I release? Okay. The other thing is you're going to ask yourself, what is your highest divine timeline that you are anchoring in now? So what are you anchoring in for your divine highest timeline? And then finally, what must I embody to fully step into my next divine role? So, for some of us, we have these beautiful dreams, but they stay in the dream space because we don't do the actions to align with or to do what, hi Blue Healer, what we are intending to do. So how do you just move through that? What is it that you want, right? And I talk about it from the concepts of physical health because it's easier. It's a visual representation. But if I, in my mind, my divine next step or my next highest timeline or my highest timeline, I'm physically healthy and physically fit, whatever that is for me, if I see that, then in order for me to be that, if say I'm not at this point in time, I'm going to have to do something to get there. That's the embodiment part, right? If I feel that I need to, like there's a movement component of the day, whether you're looking at like straight up exercise, or at least moving, dancing, doing yoga, tai chi, qigong, like any movement, just get up and move and groove and get your body, get your blood pumping. Like we're not meant to be sitting all day long in sedentary life. And we know that. So if you want to be healthy and physically healthy, you know that a part of that is going to be embodying some physical movement within your day to day. So that's what it means by what must I embody to fully step into my next role. And it could be just believing in yourself, like finally trusting what your knowings are, trusting what your gifts are telling you, right? Trusting that when you're hearing that you're hearing what you think you're hearing. Okay, so that's a big step in moving forward, is releasing all of those things. So what can you release, right? So the other thing that we want to do is we just want to get really clear, right? Get really clear, get yourself aligned today with everything that you want to get aligned with. So tomorrow and the next day when we're in the eclipse, that we will be able to quantum leap into the timeline, into our divine highest timeline, or into our highest mission without going through what many people will if they're not prepared for it, right? There's going to be it's going to be challenging energy. It's that opposition. It's an eclipse, which they talk about brings a bit of chaotic energy. It's just the energy is asking for a refresh, almost like is asking for things that aren't in alignment to be made clear, right? That's a part of what we're going to do. So we're going to activate. We need to activate that energy by doing what I said, looking at those journal prompts, working through that. Do your breath, filling yourself up with the golden light. Do your energy scan. Release the things that don't serve you. You can do the Ra Na Ta chant while holding your hands over your solar plexus with your thumbs touching. You can do all of those things to clear your energy, but definitely do the processing part to see what you want to have going forward in your 100 and it's like 41441 on the other screen. It was interesting. Me and my numbers. So how do you feel about that? Today is the final day before the massive eclipse shift, and the shift will be powerful. So how are you harnessing the energy from that shift? That's the question. How are you doing it? So I've got a few minutes left before I have my session with class. I have class at noon. class at noon. So before I have class, I'll do some cards. I'll just pull some cards, and we'll see what the energy is. And, you know, for the few of you that are that have stuck around to hear all about the moon and the eclipse, and, you know, and do those activations energetically, if you want a quick card, I can pull a card for you. But before we get too far into that, I gotta close that. There's a message on it. Spiritual love. Yes. All right. Let's see what we've got for our messages for the collective. Just a couple. We're not going to do, that's way too many. I said just a couple. And then 4 came out. The Akashic Stargate. So this is being aligned with purposes. This is a crossroads, no wrong path. So that's kind of that energy, that eclipse energy, but there's some clarity, and you have to be determining, like, what is the future that I want to see for me, for society, and what am I doing today to bring those into reality, right? I don't know how many people, you know, in the chat here access the Akashic records, but I hope that you're using them, you know, and accessing them. And if you're not, that's something that you should look into. Even if you're not looking at taking an Akashic Records course for the purpose of, you know, starting up a business, but maybe you're taking an Akashic Records course for the purpose of just accessing your own and accessing that information. We've got the Temple of Truth, the throat chakra. So we were talking about that there is clarity, and we also have Aries and Mercury, which means we're really going to be having clarity, right? No, don't be nervous about it. Don't be nervous about it. The beautiful thing, that's what we were talking about all day today, was the eclipse. So you can always go back, and I did an activation. I did a whole session, Divine Timing. You can go back and rewatch the live after it's posted on YouTube, and go through that activation stuff. Look at those journal prompts. Today's a day to really set yourself up for success for the eclipse tomorrow, right? With that Aries and Mercury, we're getting a lot of direct communication, a lot of clarity, a lot of direct communication, bold communication. Like, you could see a lot of truths being revealed during this time because of the energy with Aries being in Mercury. We also got the ancestral realm that came out, which is about karmic release. It's about healing the lineage and boundaries. Boundaries are a big thing. Boundaries are huge, right? Boundaries show people what you're willing to tolerate, right? If you don't like something that someone's doing to you in your life, what are your boundaries to prevent that from happening, right? Apparently I wanted to grab the tarot cards. Okay, let's go. Spiritual Love did want a card. So let's see. What can we get for spiritual love? Since I picked up the astrology, or sorry, the tarot cards for some reason. All right. What does spiritual love need to hear? All right, D. We've got justice in the shadow seer position. So justice, when it's in, there's an imbalance somewhere. It could be a power imbalance. It could be that something is being hidden, right? Like when you think about like the scales over the eyes, right? The scales needing to be removed from the eyes. The owl is represented on the justice card because it's about being wise, and the owl is upside down now, right? So the owl's in, like, almost being deceived is the energy that's coming up from that. And it could be very karmic in the shadow seer position. We've got the Knight of Swords coming out as well, but the Knight of Swords in the upright. So there's passion, fast-moving energy. The Knight of Swords is one of the fastest-moving knights. It's very forward momentum, so it might be, things might be moving very quickly. Okay. The Nine of Swords, there's lots of maybe worry or fear that's there as well. And you know me, if I look at it, I have to show you it. So the last card, oh, you're here, sorry. Okay, you're not gonna like it though, TT. Hi, Flory, how are you? I'm going to try to get a bit more consistent on TikTok, but because I was having some device issues with trying to get the live going, But I got it going now. And if you guys are okay with the screen that you have now, like, because I know it's landscape on TikTok, which is weird. I mean, I can do this layup and that'll be fine. I'll just run TikTok on the TikTok studio and then this on the iPad. But whatever, we'll figure it out and I'll get a little bit back to being a little more consistent. But I was making some changes. Okay, spiritual love. We got, nope, wrong one. We wanted to start in the right direction. Hang on. We've got the Justice card in shadow. The Justice card represents Libra energy for one, but that's not what the point of this one is. So the Justice card in the Shadow Seer position is, it can mean injustice, it can mean deception. I talked about how it's represented by the owl because justice has to be wise, right? Justice has to, and wisdom comes from knowledge applied. So there's that wise energy of that owl. But right now the owl's in the inverted position, which means that, you know, maybe the owl is being deceived, or the owl's not telling itself the truth. There's disillusionment. There's definitely some disillusionment that's coming up with that. And it can speak to karma. We've got the Knight of Swords coming out and in the upright position, which speeds of things moving very quickly. Passion, you know, passionate energy. Then we have the Nine of Swords, which is about worry and concern. So there's something that's, you know, there's something that's making somebody anxious in this equation, and they're thinking and they're wondering and they're questioning and, you know, trying to, and I feel it's you. You're kind of like, And then we've got the Two of Cups in the shadow. Okay. Yeah. So it's, to me, what this relation, what it's telling you. So I'm going to tell you what my energy is with the Two of Cups, the Nine, the Sword, and the Justice, is that it's karmic. It's a karmic relationship is what I'm getting from that. Okay. So, you know, knowledge is power. Do with it what you will. Continue enjoying your experience. Or, you know, slow it down a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the fun. Alrighty, who else wants cards? Who else wants cards? We got a few more minutes. We got 15 minutes. So that's what the cards are saying, love. Okay, we got about 15 more minutes. Not quite. I want to leave a few minutes beforehand. Divine timing. What does divine timing need to hear at this time, Spirit? We've got the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is the card that talks about responsibility. It's time to assess the responsibilities. What are you carrying of other people's burdens and baggages that are not yours? That could be collectively or it could be individually. I love you too. Yeah, I think it's just go slow. I think it's just go slow. It's just, that's, you know, it's just be aware. You don't know, you don't have all the information, I think, is what is coming up. Like, you don't have all the information. It's very passionate. It's very fast moving. It's more than likely karmic because, you know, the harder it hits, the faster it hits, the harder it hits when it's like in that category, fast and hard, like where it's a, that's usually your clear indication there's some karma that's going to run its course in that specific space. Okay, back to divine timing. So responsibilities, there's definitely responsibilities and burdens or baggage that you're carrying of other people's. So look at what are you meant to be responsible for at this time. The Page of Pentacles is about healing. The page is marked newness, a new beginning. And in this case here, the page is represented by the cricket, the grasshopper. Just had to check it out. The grasshopper is represented by the grasshopper. So anyway, with the Page of Pentacles, this is about new beginnings. So there's something that you're holding off on. So there might be something that you're, because the Ten of Wands is also about walking away, right? Like it's shown in other cards as, you know, in the one card, it shows a girl standing with her back and, you know, there's a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. No, let me see for a second. The only reason why I'm doing that is because I might be getting the two tens backwards. Yeah, the Ten of Wands. I was like, no, I think she's the one that's got all the baggages. She does. She's traveling, and she's got a donkey with her that's got all these baggage, all these things that she's carrying with her. So it's like, what are you taking with you into the next stage of your life? And what are you taking with you that is somebody else's, that's not even yours? You're not meant to carry it, right? And if you think about transitioning into another space, what are you carrying with you from the past into that space that you don't need to? Like, what are things, some things that you can let go so that you can move into the next stage free from those responsibilities that aren't yours to carry anyway, right? And that's what, there's a beginning, and I think you're a little bit delayed to start that new beginning. So we've got the Two of Wands in the shadow. The Two of Wands is about imbalance, okay? So there's some imbalance, not taking action, right? The imbalance is taking action. There's something that you need to do. It's choosing between your comfort zone or the road less traveled, kind of, so to speak, right? Like, it's taking a risk. It's like when we, when I was in that moment where I was working as a nurse, and, I was making 6 figures, and I was leaving to start my company. And, you have to take that risk to say, I'm going to be fine. I know that everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. I have everything that I need to do that. And you just jump off the edge, right? Hello. Love you guys. So that's the energy. There's a risk that you're choosing your comfort zone right now. Maybe afraid to take that risk. Yeah. Anything else for divine timing? So yeah, today is really a good day for you to look at what are the burdens that you're carrying that are not yours. What are the what are the things that you think that you're responsible for? Are you truly responsible for them? And how are they preventing you from your new beginning? Like, if we, kids will do that where they feel like they're responsible for living the dreams that their parents have, right? Like, I got to be a doctor because my mom wants me to be a doctor, but really I just love, fashion, let's say, as an example. So here you are being, a doctor instead of chasing your dreams of being, doing something different. It could be, like stepping into something unconventional, right? Like how I went from nursing into what I'm doing now, right? Like, a lot of people that knew me when I was a nurse don't align with me now. So you have to be willing to let go of people and be okay with the fact that people aren't going to resonate with you, or that some people aren't going to be with you on the entire trip. Okay. Okay. Flory, what does Flory need to hear? Can I get a good message for Flory? But yeah, rewatch this episode, Divine Timing, if you weren't here for the whole thing, and do those things that I walk everyone through during the activation part with like when I talk about the eclipse, like how to prepare for it today. Go back and watch that, and I'll post it as soon as I'm done here. Oop. Okay, so I'm going to focus on Flory, if Flory's still there. And then if Rejoice wants a card, I'll pull you some cards too, okay? And if anybody on here wants them, let me know, but I don't got a lot of time left. I got about 10 minutes. All right, all right. Flory, what does Flory need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Flory? All right, we got the Page of Swords in the Shadow Seer position. The Page is, again, about new beginnings. Swords is mental, so there's some ideas, but you're hesitating to take action on the ideas. Could be a potential for that card. We've got the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is... it's about giving and receiving. It's about two-way reciprocity, about we can't always be givers and we can't always be takers. We have to go between the two of them. We have to give to receive. Like, we have to be open for both of them. So there is definitely that energy of reciprocity that so make sure that you're giving. When we and then the way that the way that it is if you're not giving and you're clinging to something, the universe sees that as you're afraid that there's not going to be something to replace it, so it holds on, so that it signifies, like, it's almost like a stop in the flow, right? It's supposed to be flowing, so when we hold on to things and cling to it, it makes it seem like we're afraid that that it's not going to continue to flow, but by doing that, we stop the flow, as an example, okay? And we've got the Magician. The Magician is reminding you that you have the skills and talents necessary to succeed, and that you're the manifester of your reality. So what are you thinking and doing to manifest your reality? Are you consciously doing it, or are you unconsciously creating your reality, right? And we become conscious creators. We start to realize what we're doing. And then the Tower card came out. So there may be a big moment that you're going through that may seem very disruptive. Just know that anything that's meant for you will never pass you by. Everything's happening in divine timing. And whatever leaves was never meant to be. It wasn't meant to come with you on the trip. So just let it go and take the opportunity of what can I learn from this, and how can I grow through these challenges or through these changes. Okay. Alrighty, do rejoice for a card, for cards. What does rejoice need to hear, Spirit? Can I get a good message for rejoice today? All right, we've got the Three of Wands, but in the Shadow Seer position. So the Three of Wands is represented by a flying squirrel. It's so cute. And he's just about ready to take flight. And he trusts himself, and he knows he's got it, right? Like, he trusts himself. He knows he's got it. And this is the part for you, is there maybe is some delays of whatever you're working towards coming in. And it might be that the delay is because you don't fully trust yourself. You don't trust that when you jump off that and you spread out your hands, that those wings that are there are going to catch you and you're going to be okay. So that's a hesitating on, like, that's causing delay in other areas as well, represented by that Page of Pentacles coming out, and then also the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords could be that there maybe was some manipulation or deception that had happened recently. The Seven of Swords is represented by the Black Widow. So it can be a very deceptive energy, and sometimes the deception is coming from ourselves because we're kind of lying to ourselves about a situation, right? And that could be a part of it. But right now we've got, let's see what else is there. What else do we have for rejoice? The Tower. So the Tower in the shadow, though, which means that you've narrowly avoided disaster somehow. So whatever didn't work in this situation here, whatever is for the best. It's absolutely for the best, and that redirection is God's protection. Okay, that's the end of that. That's the end of that message. Rejection is God's protection. I can say it. I can. All right. Anybody else for a card? How's everybody doing? And if not, then I'm going to cut it out a few minutes sooner, and that'll be that. I did have on my other channel. So I have another channel which is called the number 1 Truth Sets You Free is what it is on YouTube. It's 1 Truth Sets You Free, and it's the same on TikTok. 1 Truth Sets You Free. And I would really love it if you'd go over and support that channel, if you'd go over and hop onto it. And yes, I did send you that video, Leslie. I did send you that link to my channel. That 1 Truth Sets You Free is my channel. So please go over and check that out. And what I do is I actually give you the true truth. I give you the truth as according to my higher self, my channelings, my access to the Akashic Records, the Celestial Archives, the Divine Matrix, all of that. So that's there. Oh, I know. We do. That's what I'm doing. It's about the truth. It's all about the truth. Well, the truth will set you free. That's why the channel is called 1 Truth Sets You Free, because the truth will, right? Once we're aware, we can make changes, right? But if you don't know the truth, then how do you make changes, or how do you change your situations so that you can be in a better way? But the truth is being told, and it's coming out, and that's what we're doing. We're going to be the big purveyors of it and the speakers of it, the truth bringers. So anyway, go check out that channel. I would like your support. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I did release a public teaching series on false light healing and psychic surgery manipulation. That's on there, and it takes you through an activation. Now, the second video was supposed to be released as a subscriber only. oh, I got a message from TikTok. We've detected, like, that's what that was a message from TikTok telling me it had detected inactivity. But anyway, I had to do my puzzle on TikTok. So I would really like your support because I need to get to 1,000 subscribers before I can have subscriber only content on there. In the interim, I'm going to be putting it on my web page. I'm going to be putting it in an area so that you can purchase it as a zipped video. So the video will be in a zip file. So it's under the product. It'll be on as a product link, and you'll just go in and purchase it. And I'll probably make it like $4.44, so less than $5, $4.44. And that's a steal for the information that you get within it, plus the activations and stuff. So anyway, that's there and available on the webpage. But please do support me on that. One Truth Sets You Free. It's beautiful information that I give you on that channel. And if I get to the point where I have 1,000 subscribers on there, I'll probably just move everything and just do everything from that particular channel and just close this one down. At some point, saying that at 555 on the screen there. That was pretty cool. Now we got full fives, all the 4 fives. But obviously longer on here, 555s on there now. Okay, so I love you guys. I will do what I can to get back on and do another live at some point. I'll figure out when it'll be, but we'll definitely be back to our Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll just run it like this, where we have TikTok up here and YouTube on the iPad. It works, so we'll just keep that for now. And on Mondays I'll be on YouTube only. I do a YouTube only live on Mondays, so do join me in those again. But we'll reestablish that standard schedule that I used to have with Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and then start looking for me to go live on the other channel as well. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you did not see the whole session, do go to the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy channel on YouTube and look at the video, watch it, and do the activation parts of it, because you want to get yourself in a good position before the eclipse, which is tomorrow. Mwah. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Go check out my website.